Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video we're looking at a nice and small rover to kick off this week, and it's called the 40R Mini Rover, which is this thing right here. Now you might be wondering about those damaged blocks at the front. That's because I did a fair amount of testing with this vehicle, because if I was to come down to here, you'll see that the suspensions on the front left and the back right are exceptionally close to the ground, so I've been driving it around for about 25 minutes just to ensure that they're not an issue, and that was the case. Not an issue with it, I simply bumped into a tree. So if I come up to here and press F10 and find it in the spawn menu, there it is. This little land vehicle is only 47 small blocks. It uses no DLC packs and no mods whatsoever, so it is very easy to build this in survival mode. In fact, you could probably just look at this and simply build it without needing to spawn it in. So let's start by going around the outside, then we'll have a little test drive and do some other stuff with it. So at the very front we can see we have our brand new cockpit, which was originally in the decorative DLC block number 2, but was given to everyone in the base game, and it is perfect for this type of vehicle. No blocky cockpit to ruin its design. Sitting in front of that, we've got some steel blocks in the battered skin. So this is simply going to be our fake little engine at the very front, and it's got two rotor heads just sticking out the side for some extra decoration. Now for the wheels, they've been lapped over each other, so they're on the same block line, which is why the suspension is so close to the ground. Now this part is not the problem right here, because this part doesn't have any form of collision on it. It's this, which is the problem they have to watch out for. If you clip a small rock, it will be a problem, but if you stick to flat ground, then you're going to be fine. Moving around to the side, there where our control seat is sitting, we've got two batteries, so one on both sides, and they're both bright green. They both have a light attached onto them and some half-slope blocks just for a little bit of protection on these sides. Behind our control seat we got once again some rotor heads which are on a beacon to make sure you can always find this vehicle if you were to say get separated. As we come around to the back, our wheel setup is the same like the front, except they've got two little flaps on them to make sure you don't get mud flung onto the back of your helmet. And at the very back, we got ourselves a small container, which is not connected onto anything. It's just there if you needed to bring a few things with you, such as an oxygen bottle, an extra hydrogen bottle, maybe even some spare tools, a gun, ammunition, and whatnot while you're on your adventure. If I quickly come up and above, the only little bit of detail which you could not see from the side is this LCD screen, which just sits on the back of your control seat and on top of the beacon, which simply has a warning symbol on it. Coming down and underneath, we're going to see some good little bits of utility in the form of an ore detector and a gyroscope. Yes, this has an ore detector, so you can go out and scout for all locations and then signal it back to your friend who can come over with a big miner and start drilling up the place. And of course our gyroscope to make sure we have some kind of control if we were to have all the wheels off the ground. So now it's time for me to take control of my character and get into this little rover. So in the seat we have one single option, which is for our parking brake. So instead of pressing P, we can press number 1 and it's much more comfortable to do so. So now it's time to go for a little drive around and just show you what this thing is like. So we're just driving around on the flat surface of the alien planet, which is where I tested this, and there really is not a problem going up little mounds, going up little hills and all that. Even jumping off a small cliff didn't seem to upset this too much. There is a small risk if you were to remove the speed limit, it would just simply split apart for some unknown reason, but I'll show that later on. So driving around we have a maximum speed limit of 25 meters a second. Unless you're going downhill, then it will speed up quite considerably. We can remove the speed limit, but then the vehicle becomes exceptionally unstable and like I said will randomly split apart for no reason. So here we go, we're just going to drive around. Turning on a sharp turn, we don't flip over, we are perfectly balanced. If I was to come over to this tree right here, let's just say, oh no, we just had a small collision. And only the front blocks get damaged and everything else is perfectly fine. No damage whatsoever. So let's just go and continue on. I think there is a cliff in this direction that we can launch ourselves off and that'll be good. So here we go, we're just going around here, and there is a cliff in front of us. As you saw, I went over a small mound, and there was no issues whatsoever. Now let's just go around this. Hopefully there is no lip over here, which will just crumble me as soon as I go near it, but that looks like a brilliant little ramping area. Oh, that did not go as expected, but we've got some air, and we are perfectly fine. Once again, no damage whatsoever. Let's just go and turn around here and see if I can get... What on earth happened? The vehicle, it has a mind of its own. No, I'm not actually sure what happened there. That's been happening occasionally with a few vehicles. The cockpit just seems to get a little bit damaged. So I'll have to spawn in a new one and just do a little bit more, and that'll be it. But yeah, so this is basically the end of the video. It's a short, sweet one. It is very light on the blocks, very easy to build, and it's just a lot of fun to drive around and find those ore patches, and then bring it over. Perhaps you can just drive around and start marking ore patches, and then go over to them eventually when you have a proper mining vehicle and all that. Let's now try and properly go down this cliff. I'm sure this is fun. Oh no, that's a terrible idea. Wow. Oop. There we go. I thought we were going to go all the way down. Let's just try and do that one more time. So we got that over there. Let's just undo the parking brake. Nope, that's waving. Like this. This will be fine. And bouncy. It's a very bouncy vehicle. A lot of the times you think this vehicle is going to break, it just seems to be fine. And a lot of times where you think you're going to be fine, and the vehicle breaks. So we're just driving around there. I'm pretty sure I was grinding along the middle, and it did not care until I landed. You can just, I don't know, just drop it like that. Boom. And off we go. So yes, it's a fantastic little vehicle that's amazingly sturdy for what it is, considering how low the suspensions are. So if you wish to play around with this yourself, it'll be in the description below, and I'll be back with another showcase video some point soon. Bye bye.